let me introduce to you our presenters for today, Dr. Eileen O'Brien and librarian Christine Woods, who have some really cool ideas about how you can support and promote your individual programs in your colleges and departments. So I will turn it over to them and let you guys take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen and let's get this going here. Make sure it's nice and big, full screen. And usually I'm going to let Dr. O'Brien get started.
Great. Thank you, Christine. Christine created this beautiful PowerPoint. I added a few things here and there, but she's really done a great job with this, so I appreciate that. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how we started on this sort of collaboration or invention, if you will, a sort of a mutual brainstorm. But one of the things, I think this is on the next slide, Christine, what we thought about promoting the sociology program. Really, some of the motivating factors can be applied to any program, especially at St. Leo, because I've been here since 2011, and this may sound familiar to some of you who've been here a while, but the website. So our program had stock image photos of people that aren't even really us. There's plenty of buttons where you can click on, to register now and talk to someone now and give me your money now. But when you go to other universities, at least I find that you can go on a department and you can see what their students are doing, what their alumni are recently doing, what their faculty have recently published or worked on, or how they've involved students, what opportunities might be unique about your program versus another. And I think our department pages on the website at this time do have, by the way, the CETA website is amazing. You guys are like the outliers. You've really been able to do a lot with yours. But some of our programs, at least in arts and science, the College of Arts and Sciences, we have struggled, and maybe in other colleges you guys have too, just to really be able to control our own, up to the minute, post something on. A student just did this, faculty just did this. Let's share it and let our students know what's available to them, how this material that we are teaching is relating to current events maybe, or, just all kinds of up to the minute things that's a little bit harder to do with the confines that we have with official websites and things like that. I mean, this is also an official website, and we'll get to it a little later. It actually gets a lot more hits than out there than the traditional website. So there's something to be said for, getting around the back door or the side door, so to speak, just in terms of the audience that you can get. So that was one issue, is trying to be able to have the academic programs control the information flow. So the next slide, thank you, Christine. Why sociology? So this might be something, again, not limited to sociology as well, but if you think about, I'm in a combined department, social sciences, and we have psychology, sociology, history, political science, and some years I've handled reaching out to potential new people that put their deposit down, potential freshmen who've been admitted but haven't committed yet, right? And I always get the list, and sociology always has the lowest one. Of psychology is everybody's saying, hey, we want to do that, and before they even get to the university, right, they've already decided what they think they want to major in, not knowing half of the things that's out there. And I feel like sociology is one, but I think there's probably a lot of other fields that are out there that students don't necessarily take in high school. They don't have a ready picture of what is this field about, what does it do. Maybe they're not ready yet even to commit to taking a class, or because they have so many other things that they have to fulfill. Right. I see your comment, Patrick. Thank you. I always, and when I meet parents, because I'm a parent too, and the parents are like apologizing. I don't know what my student wanted to major in yet. And I'm like, I grab them like, no, it's great. It's good that they're not walking into college already with their minds made up because there's so much they don't know, you know? So I always try to normalize that, you know, you're not a failure as a parent, that your student doesn't know what they want to do yet, all the better, right? But at the same time, that means we do have our work cut out for us because people aren't coming in already, you know, watching CSI on TV, which, you know, then that's another whole problem is that those fields are like they all have misconceptions of what the field is about when they think they want to go into it, right? But ours is just kind of a blank slate. No one really knows what it is, or they're not sure what they can do with it. You know, we do have a heavy focus on careers on this, which we'll get to, because of course everyone wants to know, you know, what can I do with it, right? And then this is a picture of RIP, the Newport News Education Center, where we used to have these flyers, you know, right? We had the fast facts sheet, we had different sheets. I was all excited when we got the new ones. This was the latest crop of them, so I took a picture and sent it around to my colleagues other places. But basically what happened was, if you can see from our numbers here, we had about half and half, if you look at the blue and orange, of student sociology majors in online and centers. We had very few at the university campus. That's always been the case. But then, of course, when the campus, the university centers, the education centers, the adult education centers closed, then there was no more brochure passing to be had, right? No more tables to be held. It all fell to that orange part really grew, which is the completely worldwide online environment. And so we had to think of new ways that weren't just paper flyers of getting out the information about the programs. And also not depending on one person, because I have a really good relationship, right, with my online advisor, Cheryl Edwards. She does a great job with that. But, you know, we have that issue at St. Leo too. Everything hangs on one person, which I personally love because I love knowing the person and not having to click through random things and make a personal connection. But at the same time, God forbid someone goes on vacation or, you know, just whatever. We need to have a way that's, you know, not just hooked to one person, but a way that is, you know, and plus we can put a lot of different materials on it too that are, you know, that things like a video clip, a podcast, so forth, that won't even fit on a piece of paper. So moving beyond the paper flyers, what can we do, right? And so given all this context of everything that was happening, we decided to come up with the Explore Sociology LibGuide. Take it away, Christine.
Yay! Thank you so much, Dr. O'Brien. We met one day for coffee. We were talking about just stuff, and I was trying to think of ways that maybe I could help. And I said, why don't we create a LibGuide? And some of you might have LibGuides that you use for your courses. And so this was something new. We have subject guides, we have course guides, and this was going to be something that was focused on the major in that program rather than just a specific the major is the subject, but having other additional stuff besides just focusing on, usually LibGuides have how to do research, how to do citations, here's some books and websites, that kind of thing. Whereas this was really focused on the program. And so this was going to be something really new that we hadn't really done through LibGuides before. And then, so we brainstormed some things that we wanted on it. We created one, which I'm going to get out of the slideshow and show you in just a moment. And I updated this today. I wanted to see, like, how high has it gone? We're up to almost 1,500 people have looked at this guide. Which is pretty impressive just since January. You can see there's a little bit of up and down on my little graph that shows, you know, month by month. It went up to 278 views for the month of October. So I think it's every time we have a new semester, I think people are clicking on it and looking at that kind of information. And also, we've kind of theorized that maybe there are people in other schools that are looking at this, because we're not sure that we have that many students that could possibly be clicking on it. So we've actually done a service to, other students everywhere, which is awesome. So there really isn't any way to know exactly who the students are that might be clicking on it, but we do have these statistics that we can look at through the library services where we create these LibGuides. So let's go to the guide now so I can show you this Explore Sociology. And this is what it looks like. This is our guide. Okay, we brainstormed what were the things that Dr. O'Brien wanted on there. And then I was able to take her idea. I started with an outline. Here's the things that we want. And then I used that outline to create kind of like the skeleton or the bones of the LibGuide. And then we started to fill it in. And as new things come up and new ideas for things to include on the LibGuide come up, Dr. O'Brien emails me. I stick them where I think they would fit, but then I always check with her if she'd like to have it, higher on the screen or lower on the screen, or, wherever we think it might attract their attention. So this is our welcome page. So you can see we have right away, why sociology? What is that? What would you possibly, why would you be interested in that? And we have a video, which is, sociologist on sociology. We also have these really cool alums that were in the news, and so we have links directly to the articles about them that were featured in community news. But the idea is to bring them right here into the sociology guide rather than having to hunt down and search and try to find it in the community news. They might have seen it in the community news, but not really noted or seen that, that they were involved in sociology. We have another video, which is linked here, that is with Dr. O'Brien. So we have also a contact the sociology department. And this is a form that will send the information directly to Dr. O'Brien if somebody fills this out. We've tested it. Hopefully you haven't been overwhelmed with too many emails, but it is there. And so that way, if students are interested, they have a specific contact person they can reach out to. And then we have information about the Sociology Honor Society. So, we know that students aren't automatically going to be in this, but it's something that they might be interested in. If I am in sociology or I've had enough credits, I could be in this honor society and be involved in something. I think a lot of our online students, often miss that opportunity to be involved in something. And so for our online students, especially, knowing that there is an honor society or a group or an organization of some kind that they can join is really important. So we have that featured on a whole separate page. We have other professional organizations that students can possibly join as student members, which is really cool because as student members, they usually have a much, much lower fee to join. Sometimes there's scholarships and conferences that they can attend, mentoring, career information, like sometimes there's job postings and things like that go through these, or job boards through these different professional organizations. So we're trying to get students to connect with those kinds of things. We do have some research resources because I'm a librarian. I got to put that in there, right? But basically what I did was I connected them to some of our most used resources that students might want or need, or pointing them back in the direction of, for example, the subject guide. I just put a link to it. I didn't try to duplicate and do everything that I would do in a course guide. And also just kind of, wanted to at least just point them in the right direction if that's what they were looking for and they found this LibGuide instead. It would help, get them back to where they need to go. And then we have the careers. And I think there's some great information here, thanks to, the information that Dr. O'Brien had. There's a lot of different names of careers. And so students don't always know what those careers are or what they would look like. And so we have a couple videos here, and we also have links to some really great information on the Career One Stop, the ONET online, the Occupational Outlook Handbook. It's going to have up-to-date current information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, showing that, a lot of these careers are growing. They're in what's called the fast growing track. So, some great opportunities there. Some videos, especially this one with the alumni panel, was really interesting. We got some great information out of that. There's always more that we can add there. Also, we have the major and minor requirements. I know there's catalogs and things that you can look in, but I think sometimes it's nice to just kind of be able to visualize this maybe in a different way. We put some specializations and things like that students may not realize. Right now, the diversity and equity is is a growing topic. And so we put that one near the top, even though there are some other specializations. And then we put, what does that look like as a career? Again, it's like making those connections in a way that maybe it's listed in other places, but kind of bringing it together so that students can visualize it, I think, hopefully is making a difference. So, and also making connections to specific classes. So we have the specific classes listed. We don't have a huge, big description. They would still need to go to a catalog or something and find out more, but hopefully enough to get them interested or entice them. And then they can, always ask more questions. So this is what we have so far. And we added meet our faculty. So that way we can have, there's some articles here about Dr. O'Brien. And there's a video here with Dr. Prince, and we have links to 2 articles that she has written. And, we hope to post, more information as we can on this page as well. Okay. So that could be something where, currently for your program, you don't have a place to put this, where all the different articles and things that have been published by your faculty or their ongoing research topics and things like that, and a little bit more about their faculty. So I think that's also something there. So what we've done is then after we created this, I turned it over to Dr. O'Brien. Do you want to tell them about all the different places where you posted it and linked to it?
Sure. I feel like you have a slide on that after this that might help in case I forget anything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I was gonna say when I saw that I met you at the social on Friday, so I can call you Monique, right? Or no? Did you? Lakita,
yes.
Wow.
Monique. Yes, Monique is my name that everybody knows me by, but Lakita.
Okay, good. I always like to get permission before I call somebody by a different name. Great. So you mentioned that this is a great thing that you can post. That's the cool thing, is that once you create the LibGuide, you get the URL and you can put it in so many different places. Like we had put it in, I think that's the 4th or 5th one here, where we have, the Start Here tab in all the D2L courses. We actually, I think it was Colleen or someone in that department who went ahead and, linked it. So it's right there for any sociology class if they're taking. So even if they're not a major, they're just enrolled in one, they will have that, that they could click on right underneath the syllabus, basically. So it's pretty visible when they're going through their exploring whatever new course they've enrolled in. Career Services is using it. They're really excited about having that there. Like Christine said, particularly that alumni panel. Actually, the alumni panel was like, we did it shortly after the pandemic started because they usually I guess in August when the new students or come in, there's usually a table, for all the majors or whatever. But since they couldn't have that, they were asking people to do different things. And I just called up. I normally stay in touch with a lot of my alumni anyways, and I might have one or two students come in and talk in the seniors seminar at some point. But I really reached far and wide, and everyone was locked down, so maybe that was a little easier. But I think I had like 10 or 12 alumni, and they were from all different places and years and demographics of the students. I made sure was, all over the place. So it was a really great opportunity where they had just taken sociology in so many different directions, whether it was different grad programs, different jobs, and also ways that enhanced their personal life. So that was a really cool, and it was just this little YouTube link floating around because we were all kind of new to Zoom, and I didn't really understand record to the cloud, record to this, like it was that new. I was like, where should I put this? So I ended up just creating a private YouTube link at the time. And so now I think that really helps with the Explore Sociology LibGuide, because we do have, I don't know if your programs have this as well, but you kind of have things you've done all over the place, and they're not really centralized into one location. So I think of it as like a clearinghouse as well. Like she said, those news bites that come out, and the individual articles that get written over the years about our students and our alumni and our faculty, they're just out there floating around in separate places. So it's been really nice to bring it all together. And like Christine also said, people are searching it. And I admit to being one of those upon occasion too. Like I've searched for a good library resource for something, and I find it at a different library than St. Leo, and I just share it with my students because it's a good resource, So you never know if people are doing that with St. Leo now with our LibGuide, because we have great information, right? Yeah, about like you said, the research resources and the career information and things that they might not be able to find at their own university. We have it all assembled here now for them. And who knows, maybe they'll think of St. Leo for another future opportunity for them or their family members. So
I did forget a slide, so I'm going to go back one. I was so excited about how to promote it. I've skipped this one slide, so I'm going to go back to this one. But we do have some future plans to add. I showed you what was included in our current LibGuide. But I did want to say, that you could do things like host a special event, and you could have the information posted there. You could have, for example, like the Zoom invitation or registration for the event. You could have those kind of promotional materials also on the LibGuide. So if you had like another alumni panel or something, that would be a good place to like put it. And then we did add the contact us form. You could also post polls and surveys. I've been trying that with some of my other LibGuides, where down in the, somewhere on the guide, I have a link where it says, please rate the usefulness of this guide. So you could actually get some feedback or maybe some other kind of survey questions. You could post things like podcasts and YouTube videos, and really the sky's the limit as far as the kind of media that you might be able to promote through that kind of guide. And basically anything that has a link, we could post there. So that maybe gives you some options or opens up the possibilities. And then let's see. If you wanted your own guide like this, you should contact Dr. Doris Van Kampen. I was going to put that in the chat, just so that I don't get overloaded with too many things. You could either contact me and I'll point you in the right direction, or if there's another librarian that you prefer that you've already worked with in the past, or an embedded librarian that you're working with at the time, however you choose, The software that we use that is connected with the library and the LibGuides, that would be something where we would want to get you connected with a librarian. So if you contact Dr. Doris Van Kampen, that would be a good start if you're just not sure which librarian to contact. But otherwise, feel free to contact me or any other librarian that you're already working with, because we all know how to create LibGuides. So that'd be a great way to get started.
I just can't say enough about Christine and just the library services here in general. I'm sure you guys probably already know, but it's worth repeating that if you're worried about time, oh, I wish I could, right? But I don't have the time to assemble all these resources together. I mean, like that script at the beginning, that was a script I had from one of our old Fast Facts flyers. You know, I updated it with a couple of new things, but you'd be surprised at how much of this information you just already have, you know, on your files, on your computer. And they are just so great. You know, Christine was, and I know I see Amy. I've worked with Amy as well on the ASA formatting page for our students. So, I mean, you know, you'd be surprised at whatever state. I'm not advocating give them your biggest mess and see what they can do with it, but I'm just saying, like Christine said, don't overwhelm them with stuff. So we wouldn't want that, but I just can't say enough about how even if you don't have it all together, just they will help you figure it out, and you'd be surprised how much you have just to get it started. And like she said, even if you don't have it all together, it's a work in progress. We've been building things, we've been adding things as we go. So I just highly recommend it.
I think, did Patrick have a question earlier? And then we were just in the middle of
He was
talking.
saying that a lot of people don't know, or they decide too early to major. I was already addressing that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But do
So
you want to say anything else?
We have time to answer any other questions.
Yeah.
Everybody was just happy with that.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. You know, I'm going to try to put together a LibGuide. I've never put one together before, but we've done like a podcast to try to share information. Sorry, I have 10,000 alarms and messages going off. And, so, you know, we've done a podcast before, and then we started to put information together for our great website. And then the website was revealed and we lost a lot of our content. So now I'm thinking, you know, this isn't very helpful to showcase what we do and who's here and what opportunities are available. So I think this is a great fix. And so I appreciate your talk on this.
Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. Having experienced the, you know, oh, I had a link to my faculty bio on my signature in the email, and now it doesn't work anymore. Like that happens all the time. And I have to say the Explore Sociology LibGuide has been stable. It hasn't gone anywhere. I found it to be much more reliable than the scenarios you described. So yeah.
We have to have a showcase panel or icon on the CTLE website because we know that that's going to be awesome and stable and look good and people can find it.
That's right. That's right. We need to add that, Christine. We need to add a link on there too.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Another thing to be aware of, and this just came up this morning, so that's why it's on my mind, is that the LibGuides have a program that runs behind the scenes to find broken links. So as soon as a link is broken by the website being redesigned or something like that, Marissa gets a message, and then we contact you and work with you to find either to find the link to it, the new link, or a resource that is about the same as far as content, and add that.
Yeah, that's a great point, because you never know, you know, the YouTubes and things that we have posted, you never know, you know, they could be changed or updated or just go away. And, you know, other resources out there on the web that we've tried to connect students to. So I forgot to mention that. That's a really great point, is that we have ways of kind of fixing it before you even know it's broken yourself. We probably have already fixed it. That's awesome. Yeah. And some programs I feel like just don't get as much attention. I feel like there's, some programs that are just super popular, and it's nice to kind of bring attention to programs that students maybe as they get further along, maybe their interests would grow. And I really loved being able to work with Dr. O'Brien on that. All right. Anybody else?
I love the responsiveness of this, how you can update it. You can, if your program does something really cool, you can showcase that. You can post videos. Patrick mentioned that they had a podcast. I don't see why you couldn't post a link to a podcast on a particular topic. I posted already about how it's not only a really cool tool for recruiting, but it's also a really cool tool for providing students important information that they need in their programs. I could see like some departments have handbooks for their programs.
Yeah.
So the student handbook, could be posted there, or, state licensure requirements, or, I could see how it could just be a really great clearinghouse for your program. And it's really cool. I'm really impressed. If I was a department chair, I'd be like, I'd have emailed you already.
Yay. Well, don't forget, everybody, I posted Dr. Doris Van Kampen. She's our university librarian, and you could send her a request if there's a particular program that you want to start working with on this, or email your any other favorite librarian, because some people already have connections and things that are going on with certain courses and things like that. So they would already be familiar with your materials and things. And if you think of any other questions later, that's just about this particular presentation, please feel free to email Dr. O'Brien or me. Maybe I should put our emails in the chat too, just in case somebody wants to email us. Just if you just have questions about this presentation. How about that?
I'll put mine, Christine. You put yours.
Huh? Okay.
You're doing. So you don't have to do your.
Oh, thanks.
And
okay.
yours.
Yeah. So we'd be happy to answer any questions. If we rush through something and you were like, wait a minute, can I see that again? I'd be happy to, walk through what the possibilities are. Or if you have questions for Dr. O'Brien about all the different ways that she shared it after we created it, or how she got the materials together for the things to include. I'm working with, there's another department, another program that I'm working with right now. I was thinking it was social work, but we're like halfway through, and then everybody just got really busy because this new semester started. So I'll have to go back and look. But like I said, we can work on it. We can add to it.
LibGuide in there too.
That's
okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If people wanted to look at it again. Yeah. All right. Well, we zoomed through that pretty quickly. So, okay, there's a survey link. Don't forget to do the survey. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And
I've got lots of notes.
Okay. Lots of notes. Good.
Cool. I love
Yay.
it.
So, don't forget to do the survey. And for people that are watching the video later, thank you for watching the video and for attending, when you had time, because we really appreciate that. Sometimes you don't have time until later after the webinar has already been recorded. So thank you for everybody who's watching the video. And we hope you have a great day and a happy Halloween. Get out there and do some trick-or-treating tonight. Should we say goodbye now? Did we get everybody connected to what they need to connect with?
Does everybody have the link to the survey?
Yep.
We really appreciate you responding to the survey. Pardon me, Patrick?
Will the link stay active once the Zoom window closes?
Yes.
Okay.
Once you've accessed the link, you're in.
Okay. Where did it go? Da-da-da-da. Okay.
We will be posting the recording on our webinar page, which will also end up going up on our YouTube channel. And so if there's any particular items that Christine, you or Eileen want to share as far as in the description piece on YouTube, you could share them with Isis and then she can add them to the description. You know, sometimes in YouTube you have description and then multiple links.
Oh, okay.
If there's anything in particular that you would want to put in there, then we can have that posted out. But
Okay.
this was definitely great. You know, I think this would be great for y'all to present this to like chairs, like Candace said, as far as the chairs. You know, I don't know if your dean has seen this and, you know, has possibly looked at this for their other programs that are in their own college.
Yeah, great idea. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how we would reach everybody, but you know, hopefully the word will get out. That's all we can do is try. But I'll send a copy of that PowerPoint just because it does have some speaking points that might help if somebody wanted to kind of look at the PowerPoint real quick instead of the video, or and then also, you know, the links, the link directly to it. And then hopefully that'll be great. And people can contact Dr. O'Brien or me if they have any questions. Okay, good.